now beaming into NerdFT Radio.
This is NerdFT Radio, where nerds full-time explorers of the metaverse, surfers of the blockchain, and not in their mom's basement. I'm your host, RSG, aka the Disney guy, and I'm here with Crypto
Disney
Crier,
guy.
aka the Pepe Master. How are you, Crier?
Doing pretty good, buddy.
I'd hope so. Yeah, you're back from vacation. Pepe's pumping.
That's right.
NFTs are somewhat moving, but it looks like it's a little manipulation. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows on that.
But things are rolling. We have awesome news to talk about. But before we get into it,
a lot of stuff this week. It's good.
Yeah, a lot of really cool stuff. So we'll talk about it. But before we get into it, how was the vacation?
It was great. We went down to Florida. I was visiting my parents. We just got like an Airbnb and got a pool and the beach and hanging out. Nothing too crazy.
Okay.
We're going to go to Busch Gardens. We did not end up going. It was vacation week or something at Busch Gardens, the weekdays.
What the heck does that mean?
Like school kids.
Oh, no. Okay, you're out. Okay.
Yeah, it was it was apparently
end of the year in Florida. Yeah, end of the year in Florida. What they decide to do in schools is they take them to the closest amusement park and they load them up.
Yeah, so we dodged bullet on that and
try to
went the
avoid
beach
that
instead and had fun.
All right, awesome. Hey, while you were having fun and I was at Disney plus working and whatnot, the metaverse didn't stop, and we have a bunch of stuff to talk about. Where we're gonna go ahead and get started is obviously the biggest player in the game, Yuga Labs. So the interesting topic for us here is that once again, not a company's coming into this space, but a massive person in the gaming space, in the Web 2 gaming space, is going to go ahead and join Yuga Labs. Yuga Labs now has a brand new CTO. His name is Mike Seavers. Is it Seavers or Seavers?
Seavers, I think.
Seavers. So Mike Seavers will be joining Bored Ape Yacht Club on May 22nd, so next month. So where he is coming from is actually, where do you have a guess?
Epic Games.
Man, I think you read it. This is not fun. But yes, he is coming from Epic Games, and honestly, this is where things are. This is where things get a little interesting. Not only in the sense of obviously he's a big time person in Epic Games, going and taking that move over to Web3 into literally the biggest company in Web3, but that network of people that he can provide as well. When 100%. People see respected people in the game joining other companies, joining other sectors, joining new things, we might get some more people being like, wait a second, let me look a little bit into it. So again, super awesome that he's going to go ahead and start with Yuga Labs. Again, Yuga Labs has not only Bored Apes, but CryptoPunks, the other side, ApeCoin, MeBits, a bunch of stuff that they're still rocking and rolling, and they need a bigger team. When we start seeing these big adds to the team for all these PFP projects or even just Web3 gaming projects, anything like that, it's a good thing because we need to start getting those individuals that have ran these multi-million, billion-dollar companies in gaming to come over here and help out a little bit.
Agreed.
So before I ask you some questions, there's one thing that the CEO, if I'm not mistaken, went ahead and said about Mike. So Mike has a proven track record of taking organizations to the next level, and he shares our vision for how important digital identity and community will be for the future of the internet. It's like we've been saying this the whole time. That wasn't in the quote. We have an opportunity to be the Web3 platform at the forefront of the entertainment, and Mike's expertise will help us scale to achieve that. And that, again, was the CEO of Yuga saying that in a press release a little while ago when this news came out. But again, he will be joining them, if I'm not mistaken, on May 22nd. So let's just see if more ads like this will happen, and hopefully in other projects as well, so that we can start all these Web 2 people, all these gamers that we talk to all the time can see the potential or the opportunity at hand with everything that's going on.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a really good ad for sure. What was he, the CFO or CTO of Epic Games?
He was, if I'm not mistaken,
CTO, I think.
Yeah, so he was one of the higher ups on the board and whatnot. Then they're bringing him over as the CTO for Yuga.
Okay, I gotcha. That's Epic Games has connections with everybody nowadays because they are the creators of Unreal Engine, right? So if you're making a game, you probably have to have dealt with someone at Epic. I'm sure it will bring a extremely robust network of people I do think we talk about this all the time. Gaming is going to be the next kind of step, I think, in how NFTs get distributed to people in terms of like adoption and stuff like that. I think it'll just be something where people won't really know or really experience them. And, how we were talking with Jason, was it Jason?
Yeah.
Last time he's saying like they're going that
Josh.
approach of Josh from Bornless Games. They're going that approach of we're building a game. It won't have a lot of obvious Web3 things. It's not going to be all that, but at the end of the day, we will add all those elements in because they are better. They are better for games. So I do think that will be a very large approach on a lot of these things. Yuga has already been down this path. We have the vessels, we have the other side deed lands, we have the codas come from this. These are going to be their gaming assets. We've had the helmets drop from the first act or the first test. So if you were a participant and you won the Team Glacier 1 or whatever, they were all airdropped helmets that are $800 now or some crazy shit. I do think these are it's a great approach. I think these will be really good for them. I think it's a really smart ad, and it's taking off the founder or co-founder, because the one that had a lot of health issues is stepping down, and he's taking that position pretty much, right?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken. Again, that's another thing that we haven't talked a little bit about, but one of the co-founders does have some medical issues at the moment.
Back.
We did? Yeah, if we
did.
But again, he will be stepping down. He will be more of an advisor role and back and forth and whatnot. So this is going to allow him or allow Yuga to get a big heavy hitter into the team. By the way, he was the former executive vice president of development at Epic Games. So that's the role when he was over there. But again, like you said, I definitely agree, and we'll see what happens. Again, we want to see more individuals like him, like Mike, join these teams over here. If it's at Yuga, if it's at Doodles, if it's at whatever other project that at least some of us have some bags in, just to help the space go forward. But other than that, some awesome things have also happened. One of them is on the mass adoption side of things. So obviously, when you think about collectibles, collectors, a lot of people go towards obviously the action figures like your boy over here. Other people go into sneakers and t-shirts and fashion. And one of those massive individuals is Adidas. Obviously, Adidas has been on the down, going a little bit down right now because of, the Kanye stuff. But hey, they're still going, they're still pumping, they're still trying to figure it out. And one of the things that they actually went ahead and did was they had a token gated merch drop where if you did not have an alt by Adidas, which is their NFT, you could not get the merchandise on their app that millions and millions of people use and see. So when you go onto the app, you're able to go ahead and see those two things. It was two merch opportunities to go ahead and go into, but again, it was token gated. One of them was a hoodie. If I'm not mistaken, it was around like $100 for that hoodie, and it was pretty much all of the Adidas owned NFTs that they have. Like they have a Bored Ape, they have I already forgot what that other project's called, Crier. What was it called? Everyone loved it. Now no one talks about it anymore. The Punks, like the comic book one.
Like the
what are they called? Meta Heroes. So Meta Heroes, as well as all these other things with G Money, everything like that. So imagine this hoodie. If you're watching the YouTube video, I have a hoodie on. Imagine just like comic strips all over it. So that was the first token gated asset merchandise that they had. The second was shoes. And I'll personally say I wasn't going to buy those shoes. They were, imagine like Adidas, like regular shoes, but on the tongue, it had the Bored Ape, and inside there's these little Easter eggs with that Bored Ape has heart sunglasses, and inside the actual shoe there was like these two little hearts and whatnot. It was fuzzy on the back or on the outside of the shoe, exterior. I wasn't gonna buy that. I'm not gonna wear that. Imagine just kicking water one time, the shoe's ruined. But like I said, there are other individuals that buy them.
That one might be a little bit more of a collector one. Yeah, that might be a display type.
Exactly. It was really cool to see it. They integrated their app, so what you had to go ahead and do was not only did you have to have that app ready to go, but you also had to have your Ethereum wallet. you had to have the NFT in that Ethereum wallet, and you had to go ahead and download Token Proof, which has been the go-to app for most of these events and most of these merch drops from any of these NFT companies. So it was pretty cool, the integration behind it, which allowed you to have access. So if you did not have access, you could see the items, the merch, but when you clicked on it, it would literally say you do not have access, or you haven't connected your wallet to find out if you had access. So Crier, let me ask you, is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? And before you answer that, there was other, if I'm not mistaken, another 5 merch pieces you were able to purchase. I think it's in a week, where they're from the NFT project, the whole nine, but those are not token gated. Anyone exclusive. Can buy them. So what do you think?
I think it's a great idea. You're rewarding. This is what it's about, right? You're the in crowd of Adidas. Do you like Adidas a lot? You should buy the NFT for Adidas, because you're probably going to get stuff that you really connect with, right? There's people who are only wear tracksuits. Like, you probably need, you're going to need an NFT from Adidas, right? Because that's what you like. You like to collect that stuff. I think it also probably helps a lot with the bots, right? Because botting of dropping of merch is like it's huge. A ton of people do it.
Biggest things in the world. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's especially with shoes, like it's constantly everyone's botting them to the clicks on the shoes. So I definitely think that plays into part here for sure. Now you're catering the most exclusive stuff to people who probably aren't going to be able to bot it, because you have to buy them 1-to-1 with your pass or something like that. Definitely a few win-wins on there for sure. And I think personally, I don't really care for Adidas or Nike NFTs, like myself personally, just because I'm not a big, clothing or shoe guy really. But I do see the value here, and I think Adidas has done a much, much better job than Nike has over the past, all right? Because I do think that a lot of the people that were really interested in it on the Nike side got really burned out with the Clone X stuff, the constant drops of items that don't have a lot of demand or weren't that special, and then the non-holders were given the same opportunities for way cheaper, like right afterwards. Really isn't that exclusive access. So if Adidas does this, 2 weeks later they drop like, oh, we didn't sell them out, so we're just going to sell them to people who want them, that won't fly, right? So that will instantly cause problems. I do think there is a little bit of that aspect of it where you have to do right by your customers on this side. So we'll see how it plays out, but I do think Adidas has been doing a better job. If you listen to our NRP podcast, NRP had Yaba and Nate went to the event in New York for Alts Adidas, and they said it was incredible. They did a really good job. They said it was one of their favorites. I think it's pretty interesting. They ran out the entire New York it's like a 4-story store for Adidas. That was all where you were able to go to different floors and look at clothing and do all this stuff, have drinks and hang out. So I do think that is, again, like if you're in that ecosystem, that's your style. It's probably something that you probably want.
No, absolutely. Now, of the shoe as well as the printed hoodies, they actually went out for the shoes. It was 2,145 pairs. And on the hoodie side, it was 2,195 printed hoodies. So again, for those individuals, if I'm not mistaken, there's around 10 to 15,000 NFTs. You can only buy one per. So if you add up the numbers, not every single person is going to get it, but not every single holder wants those two exclusive merch, right? Again, take me as an example. I have the Alts by Adidas. I did not buy those two, so obviously not everyone wants it. Now, on the other side, I did mention there are other items that you were able to go ahead and purchase. Now, that hasn't gone live just yet, but if you do go over to NRP and you listen to what Yaba and Nate said, those items that we're talking about right now, those 5 to 6, if I'm not mistaken, maybe even 8, those were actually sold. A few of them, at least, were sold at the New York event that they had for NFT NYC. Now, those items will be going live on May 5th, and that is only going to get an early access. Here, let me check really quick. Actually, no. I take that back. So there is an actual, obviously, if you go into the Adidas app and you make an account, you become a member of the Addy Club. And if you are a member of the Addy Club, you're able to go in early access, already live right now, and buy those items literally right now. Go over, buy some. But on May 5th, Adidas will then open it for the public sale so anyone can go ahead and buy it. That does not mean those two token gated items will be public. Crier said, if they do that, I will give you a company that did that by accident, which was Funko. Obviously, all these Funkos that I have behind me, Funko does have an NFT project at hand where they do just like these Funkos, but they do it as an NFT. And what happened was in one of their warehouses, if I'm not mistaken, in Arizona, they had like a 50% off sale at their warehouse, etc. And one of the items was actually one of the NFT drops, which I don't know how the heck they did that, but an NFT drop that was said to have already been done. They were going to burn the items. And unfortunately, the members working there, the workers working at the warehouse, actually sold them on accident.
Yeah.
Hopefully Adidas goes the route of actually sticking to their word and going through it and understanding like this is the whole point of it. They leave it open. I just don't, this is one of those things where like you can just leave it open. And if not, then it's like, all right, it is what it is. But
yeah,
we'll go ahead and see, because obviously people are going to learn about this. They're going to see it on the app and maybe they just don't understand it yet. But later down the road, they do, and they get fortunate enough to go in. Yeah. Holy crap, there's 6 more, 5 more, 3 more, 2 more sold out. So we're going to go ahead and see how Adidas does it. Hopefully we'll start seeing other companies doing it. Obviously we have Nike as well in the whole Web3 space with Swoosh, and they actually had some of their NFT drops as well, their digital side of things. A lot of people are saying that they're done with Artifact, but Artifact's still pumping things out, not at the pace that some holders might want, but they're still doing it. It takes some time. The only person that everyone's ever happy with is Yuga. So everyone else just buckle up and just get ready for the ride. Some of these are going to come out, some of these aren't. So hopefully your bags are secure and ready to either crash and burn or blast off. Now, Crier, this is a touchy subject for you. Let me ask you, Doodles Stoodio, 1 out of 10. What do you rate it? 10 being good, 1 being nothing.
I would say it was fun. It was like a 7.5. It was pretty good.
Okay.
They kept on saying it wasn't polished. It isn't polished. There's a lot of bugs, stuff like that, which is fine. Like, I don't really mind that at all. I think the items and stuff like that showing up on your character is very good. They did a really good job on it. Again, my problem was never with the idea. It was where they chose to put this idea. So still, that has not changed in my thought process. I'm not going to change that one. But overall, it was fun. I did it right away because I already had some beta passes because I duplicated my guy. And as soon as it would open, I didn't have any other really problems. I would have liked to have like music. I feel like they always have like good music.
Agree.
And it was just silence. Agree. And I think that was just more of the fact that it's still super early beta stuff. Again, but like, just having something music wise probably would have been.
You literally could have grabbed the music from South by Southwest and gave me another aneurysm.
Yeah, exactly. And that would have been way better. Yeah.
Would have been fine than nothing.
It was just something because it is that really cool, like relaxing, repetitive motion of the guy would have fit really well with that. And I guarantee you they will in the future. It was just something they didn't have yet. But I definitely see people getting more excited about it, right? This is the first time I've actually dropped something ever that actually did something, right? The ships didn't do anything.
The duplicator did something. The duplicated items.
Duplicated items, but you weren't able to use items. So you weren't able to do anything with them yet. And I think this is like the first time we were able to kind of showcase those things.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I will say the duplicator did something because you got items you didn't know you were going to get. So in a way, but I do agree with you where you weren't.
Like a loot box.
Exactly. So it was a little cool thing, but obviously when you have a loot box, you want to then use the loot box.
You put the skin on the item, right? So like
exactly.
Me just looking at green socks and I'm like, oh, wow, that's really underwhelming.
I wonder what these look like. You saw everyone on Twitter grab them and Photoshop them and they looked awful on Doodles. Yeah. It was pretty funny. But
overall, I would say this release has been the only one where I've actually seen like positive responses from people.
100%.
And a lot of them were like people I've seen talking shit about Doodles. And again, I'm still very 50-50 on, to be honest. This is a very good step right direction. I think the Pharrell stuff, he's actually integrating a little bit more.
I want to talk about that. Yep.
It's cool. I don't really give a shit, to be honest. I don't think I like Pharrell and stuff like that, but I don't, oh shit, we got Pharrell. I don't think that's like a huge move the needle type thing. I'd rather see, I don't know. So there was a really good question that Deep Blue Steve brought up. So they showed the merchandise for the Something in the Water festival. They had a ice cream shirt, which is the brand of like skatewear. I'm guessing. I think it is a skatewear, the company.
It's called Ice Cream. Yeah. No, it's Ice Cream.
There was a couple other companies they partnered with for it.
Human Race, Billionaire Boys Club, and Adidas.
Yeah. So Adidas were really cool. I think the green Adidas shoes were really cool. Those are going to be pretty rare. It looks like there's only going to be 12, right?
We'll talk about those numbers right after you talk. Go ahead and say what Steve said. And I'll talk those numbers for you.
Yeah. So he was coming on from the approach that he has a shark doodle. So he has the IP to the shark doodle. And he said, essentially, his thought process here is, why would you not choose to include your holders in this? Like Pudgy Penguins has gone the route of, here's your IP. We will license that IP from you and make toys off you. We get most of the money still, and you get a very small royalty fee for owning the IP rights to that doodle, and you agree upon them. They have had a lot of Pudgy Penguins that just said, I love that your guy's doing this. I don't even care about the royalties. I just want to see my guy made. So instead of doing that, because there is an ice cream doodle already in the Genesis one, they made like a whole new character in like the similar vein of what we're doing. And same thing with the shark is now there's a shark that has like legs and everything. So it's a different IP than the original one. And then no one gets any rights or anything like that. I think it would be like such a really easy thing to do and not cost them like any money at all. And it would be like, wow, they're actually giving back to holders here. That would be 100% a move that I think would be probably not cost very much and be a huge step in like gaining back trust in the Web3 community space, right? That's their biggest fault. They didn't communicate. People see them as something who they just see that they've made it. They've got funding. They don't need us anymore. That's the biggest thing I've heard or takeaways from people who dumped their large doodle holdings or lost, I don't know, sight of the Doodles mission or Doodles idea was that idea is that we're not heard anymore. And I don't like that. Overall, again, I thought it was handled well, but I think Steve brought up a great point where I don't think it would cost very much on their side. And it would be something that would get a lot of excitement back for people.
No, I definitely agree. So I do also, I'll probably say I do the Pharrell pack more than what you just said on your side. I think it looks super dope, the items and everything like that. So the one thing that I will say that's is like, why it goes back to what you just said. It's like, why aren't these packs are going to be only 300? So not everyone's going to get involved with it. So
yeah.
I don't know. They could have done something where everyone's going to get a pack that's a doodle, OG doodle, right? There's one.
Yeah.
But inside the pack, there's obviously going to be rare, not rare, 3 items, 2 items, 1 items. But obviously then you look at scarcity. So maybe they're going the right route, but let's go ahead and just talk about the numbers. So like you said, Crowd, there's going to be 300 packs, including 4 brand collaborations. The brands that we talked about was Adidas, Human Race, Billionaire Boys Club, and Ice Cream. In these packs, there's going to be 3 exclusive wearables for your Doodles 2, 1 physical redeemable, and a beta pass. By the way, selling those beta passes at 120, 150, what a move. Pack rarity odds, Grails, 48 of the 300 packs will contain a Grail redeemable and matching Grail wearable. Exclusives, 252 of those packs will include a colored green Adidas Sambas as redeemable and exclusive level wearables otherwise. So what those shoes are, there's those green shoes that everyone's seeing all over Twitter. And on top of that, there's going to be only 12 of those people that get that. They're actually going to be able to redeem those shoes in real life. So the boxes, of course, can only be opened once, and that's it. And we're going to go ahead and find out. So for you to even get a chance to get these packs, number one, obviously, I'm assuming you can sell these packs if you really wanted to. That'd be pretty cool if you could, without opening it. But the actual thing, if you want to have a chance to just be one of those 300 people, you have to have 5 badges, which you can actually see in the Stoodio app for Doodles. The 5 badges are, you have to create a Stoodio profile. Do I have to say Stoodio? I'm going to say Stoodio. Stoodio profile, number 1. Number 2, you have to hold an OG doodle. Number 3, you have to create a doodle, which grab a beta pass, go in there, create something. You don't even have to have items. Just put the stuff and you're good. Duplicate at least once. Hopefully you duplicate, then sold. And then the other one is opened a Genesis box. So if you haven't opened your Genesis box, I think it's about time to just go ahead and open one at least. You probably bought a few, and you will have those 5 badges, and good luck. Hopefully at least one of us at NRN gets one of these packs, and we're going to see what could happen here. But like you said, Car, I'm super excited for this. I think they're going in this right direction. Obviously some things not as good as others, but at least it's on the good side. And the response from all these communities, you and I, in all these group chats and Twitter DMs, etc., the overall view of this is positive, and let's go ahead and find out how they actually played out. I will say the merchandise at what's the
Something in the Water
festival called? Something in the Water. I will say that for people not going, sucks that you're not able to get the merchandise. At least if you have an OG Doodle, that thing that costs like 25 ETH at one point and people were buying left and right. If you have one of those said 10,000, you should have an opportunity to at least get, let's say there's 6 things, let them get like one of the 6 or something, and you're going to spend money anyway. So what's the problem? You not like money? But hey, there are some things. Hey, listen, I'm not always a maxi of Doodle. See, look, I'm saying bad things here, Cry. I never say bad things. So you know what?
Exactly.
This is kind of weird. So again, shout out to Doodles for what they're doing. I also had a blast with creating a Doodle. I know my girlfriend Carolina, it was the experience for her to finally create a Doodle or have something, because she absolutely loves the brand and loves when we went to South by Southwest as well as Miami. It was super cool to finally see her like adding things on. She was in the marketplace looking at other items. There's a really cool feature where you could actually just make a Doodle with any item whatsoever. Obviously, it wouldn't stick to your account, but you were able to mix and match any of the traits to find out what traits you like and what traits you don't, which then allows you to go over into the marketplace to go ahead and find the ones that you did enjoy, and also, like Crier does, sell all the ones he doesn't like. By the way, me selling those shoes at $500 was a steal and a half. They are now at $45. Just wanted to point that out there. Yeah, so that was a nice little...
No, selling them as soon as you opened them was definitely the move.
Definitely the move. But hey, by the way, the hollow items that you and I both had, I think you kept a few, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the gloves, and
they look phenomenal. Like the actual hollow, like it moves and whatnot on the Doodle looks super cool. And I can't wait to see what else we're going to be able to do with these Doodles. But Crier, this pretty much wraps up everything that's gone down while you're on vacation. And I almost lost both my legs walking 2 days at Disney. So what I want to talk about right before we leave the podcast, Crier, it's finally the week of Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Let's go, baby.
The reviews are in, and everyone is saying, bring some tissues. This is going to make you cry more than Endgame. And if you're a fan of Marvel, that means that you need to bring at least 3 tissue boxes, because I remember using 2. So just get ready for a jam-packed movie, and everyone's saying it is wrapping up, closing out the greatest comic book trilogy of all time for superhero movies, comic book movies. So just get ready for it. James Gunn is a mastermind. I'm very sad that this is probably going to be his last Marvel movie ever, since he's over at DC now, but I'm super excited to finally, hopefully, get some good DC content, because I know we got him a little bit in Suicide Squad 2 and in Peacemaker, and Crier, we both like both of them. So if we can get more of that, I'm ready to go. Crier, let me ask you, Thursday's opening night, are you going Thursday? Not Friday, Thursday.
No.
Oh,
we'll go. Right. We'll go the following Tuesday.
Damn it. Come on, it's Guardians.
My movie night is Tuesday. It's how
I thought this one would make you get out of your chair and to the movies, but it's fine. Every Tuesday, it's good to go.
That's right.
Oh, I can't wait. This is going to be awesome. It looks phenomenal. I'm going to cry so much. It's not going to be...
while we were doing this, I popped open a Genesis box because that was my last thing I had to do.
Ooh!
I got Heart Bloomers, which I think Jessica will like, and Lazy Overalls. So pretty
good.
Not good.
Not good. Got it. Well, there goes $200.
Poof.
Or 180.
Now I have a shot. Now I have a 3% shot at getting a box. There we go.
Ooh, look, Crier's
really
always
low.
Thinking outside the box. Ooh, I did that. You heard that. But for everyone listening at home, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of NerdFT Radio. We'll catch you guys later this week, and just keep on building in the metaverse, because everyone else is doing it. Peace.
Peace.